Hey guys, it's Alice Addams. Welcome back to Wonderland. So, today's video I'm going to be doing a body modification Q&A. Some of you lovelies asked me some questions through my Instagram and my Facebook, so I'm going to be answering your questions today. Let's just jump right into it. Samara asks, how bad did the tattoo on the side of your face hurt? This guy, sorry that my eyeliner's all jacked up today. This guy was actually one of my least painful tattoos. I actually made a video all about this tattoo and I will put the link in the description, but to answer your question, it was one of my least painful tattoos. Amber asks, what tattoos / piercings do you want to get in the near future? Okay, like all of them. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've probably noticed that I've taken a lot of piercings out of my face. It was for a few reasons, like some of them were crooked and some of them were done improperly, and some of them I just kind of grew out of. That's the beauty of piercings, you can just take them out. There's a little bit of scarring for the most part, but it's very temporary compared to tattoos. But as far as piercings go, I would like to get a few more surface anchors, similar to, oh, if the brightness just chills out a little bit. Hey brightness, can you not please? Thanks. This little filly / fella, I would like to get some like all the way down, sort of like my sternum section in different colors of opals. So that's coming up. And as for tattoos, similar spot actually. As you guys probably know, I'm getting married in a few months and I would like my tattoos to be a little more finished looking. Right now I've got a bit of a sticker book going on, so it's just not the look that I personally like. I like things to be cohesive and sort of connected. So I'm going and actually getting a consultation in 4 days in Sudbury, Ontario to maybe connect these guys, finish things up. I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting just yet because I plan on making a video all about it and vlogging and stuff during the tattoo. So, but yeah, this is going to be like, all here is going to be finished, all here is going to be finished. And eventually I'd like to do my other sleeve because this one is complete. But this will be probably next year. Jenna asks, when are you splitting that tongue? Okay. So I've been saying for like 2 years that I was going to get my tongue split, and I just haven't gotten around to it, A, because it's quite costly, and B, there's just so many other things that sort of gain priority over getting my tongue split. Like right now I have it pierced at a 14 gauge, and I've been thinking about stretching it first because it's very common to get regrowth with your tongue. It wants to just heal right back into like one shape. So if you stretch it, sometimes that'll stop it from doing that. So I'm probably going to stretch it for the next little while, and then after the wedding, after the honeymoon, so probably next year, I'm going to get my tongue split. And I'm so excited to have like 2 little tongues. Adele, girl, asks, what were you most nervous about getting for the first time, a piercing or a tattoo? I feel like I was just as nervous for my first piercing as I was for my first tattoo. So I can't say that like one over the other was more nerve-wracking, but I can tell you which ones. So I actually showed this in a video. I'm all like layered up with like a skirt and leggings and like this jacket, and there's this skirt, but like below this, they're like lower, there's 3 roses that I got for my first tattoo. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the description for when I showed you guys what that looked like. It does need to be touched up. I got it when I was 17, so that was almost 10 years ago now. Crazy. That was really nerve-wracking because it was on my side, which was always said to be one of the most painful spots. And it was big, and I didn't know what to expect. I sat for 4 hours, which is really good for your first time in my opinion. Going into the shop, my heart was racing. I felt like I was gonna throw up. It was just like really, really nerve-wracking. And then my first piercing, that wasn't my earlobes. I think it was one of my nostril piercings. I think it was exactly this one. And that one was really, really scary because I had never been to this piercer before. They were very like serious and like I'm like really bubbly, and so when people aren't, I sometimes think that it's because they are annoyed by me or that they don't like me. So I was like, oh my gosh, like what if this person hates me and then they're gonna like hurt me on purpose? Just because they were very like, yeah, sit in the chair. I'm gonna stab your face. And I was also only 13 when I got that done, so they were both very nerve-wracking for different reasons. Melody asks, girl, you asked, first tattoo, where is the least painful place? So I'm assuming you're asking this because you don't have a tattoo and you're looking to get your first tattoo and you want it to be easy. If I had to say the least painful places to get tattoos, I would say pretty much anywhere that's like really meaty for the most part. Like the front of your arm. I should correct myself. Anywhere that's meaty or exposed to the sun often. It becomes less sensitive because of the minor sun damage or major sun damage that you may have. So yeah, I would probably say here, face, which maybe you shouldn't do that for your first tattoo, but like you do you. And the front of your thigh, not the inner thigh or outer thigh. Amber asks, I want to get a sternum piece, but I don't know if it will work with being so large chested. I think that like as long as you are working with an artist that you can be absolutely open and honest with, they will find a way to make the design work for your body. I'm not personally a tattoo artist, but that's just sort of my opinion. I guess you'd probably have to consider what it would look like with a bra on and then without a bra on. Honestly, I think that it would be beautiful and I think that you should do it. Eugene asks, if I want a second nose piercing in the same nostril, will that work? I've been told you have to do them at the same time. Okay, firstly, any piercing ever, you need to go see Jenny One Punch at Deluxe Tattoo Social Club in North Bay, Ontario, because she is the bomb. Diggity. Jenny did like, okay, so I had this one and then like later I got this one done somewhere else, and then she did my two here and she made them so symmetrical. Even though she didn't do the previous ones, she really took her time to map it out. She made it super symmetrical and I got all of them done at different times. So whoever told you that, they lying. You could do this and it's gonna look awesome on you. You should totally do it. It would even be cute, because I know what your nose looks like. It would even be cute like if you had like a stud and a hoop. I think that'd be really cute. Or two hoops would be cute too. Gwendolyn asks, what's your most regrettable tattoo? I'm really lucky. I don't have any tattoos that I regret, but I will say I regret the placement of this tattoo, because now moving into wanting a full chest piece, it's very difficult because I have this big dark tattoo on my chest that I have to work around and that I have to sort of plan around to make it look cohesive and make it look purposeful and like properly blended in with the new design. So I guess that one. Shannon asks, how was it getting a dermal piercing? And any do's and don'ts. So Jenny informed me when I started working at the tattoo shop that some people call it a dermal, but it should be referred to as a surface anchor. Not to be that guy, but like, I don't know, maybe you didn't know. I didn't know before, so here we are. It was actually so easy. I think it depends who you go to because there's a few different ways of doing it. But Jenny does it in such a non-invasive way. She pretty much just like poked a little hole and then like stuck the jewelry in, and then that's it. Like she didn't have to like carve out a piece of flesh like I hear some people do. And I'm not a piercer, and I'm sure there's lots of good ways of doing it, but I love the way that she does it because there was hardly any healing time. Like it seemed to heal almost instantly and it wasn't painful and it just looks so nice. It's one of my favorite piercings. As far as the any do's and don'ts bit, I guess don't touch it a lot because sometimes the top of the jewelry can like fall off, and then it's really hard to get back in. And also don't touch it a lot because like it could bother the piercing and make the area dirty, especially when you're healing it, even though you're going to want to touch it a lot. And do listen to your piercer and follow all their instructions for the aftercare. Shy asks, what helps you decide if a piercing will suit you / look good if you're unsure? This is something that I wonder if anybody else does. Comment down below if you do this. I use eyelash glue and like just like little beads, and I like eyelash glue them to my face or like wherever I want my piercing, and then I look at it. Like obviously it doesn't, like the bead needs to be really light and small so that it holds, but like that's how I decided if I wanted my philtrum pierced, and that's how I decided if I wanted this surface anchor done, and the other side of my nose, and my belly button, which I've taken out both belly button piercings. Yeah, I've done it almost every single time because it's nice to get a visual. I'm a very visual person, and yeah, so I find that works for me. Sometimes too, I'll just put like a little dab of eyeliner on the area just to get the idea of what it'd look like to have something there. Gabby asks, do you have tips for a first time tattoo? Going back to what I had said about getting a piercing, I am not a tattoo artist, and I think that my biggest tip for you is to absolutely follow the instructions that your tattoo artist gives you for aftercare. I've noticed that every tattoo artist I've been to gives me a different method to heal my tattoos, so I think that there are lots of right ways and also lots of wrong ways. So just always listen to the advice that your tattoo artist gives you and do that, because I've never had a problem healing tattoos. And yeah, just they know better than we do, right? Like that they're professionals, so just listen to what they have to say. I guess my other tip for you getting a first tattoo is just be really sure about what you want. I know it seems obvious, but it is on you for life, and like, or if you're maybe not completely sure, get it a little bit smaller, because then you can cover it up with a bigger piece in the future if you decide to. And really think about the placement, think about how this may affect you in the future. I own a hair salon, I'm a hairstylist, and so I'm very fortunate to have the type of career where I can have many visible tattoos. But as much as we've come a long way with people's opinions of tattoos, unfortunately we're not as far as we should be. Hopefully one day people will not judge us and dismiss us like we're hooligans or like gang members and stuff, and one day really see it as the art that it is, because unfortunately some careers do need you to cover up your tattoos still. I don't agree with that, but it's just the way that things are right now. But we're making progress, and one day you won't have to think so much about that stuff. Adam asks, any real body modifications such as scarification or branding? Real body modifications. So body modifications are just like you altering your physical appearance in a very intentional, purposeful way. So, I mean, come on. But I think what you mean is, do I have any heavy body modifications? And I do. My ears are almost at 2 inches. I had stretched them on my own to 1 inch, and then I had them scalpeled, and yeah, they fluctuate between 1 inch and 7/8 and 2 inches. Right now these are 1 inch and 7/8. I did make a video all about my earlobe scalping experience, which I will link in the description for you, and unfortunately that video is extremely poor quality, and it's just I think it kind of sounds like I have a lisp too, because of the way that the audio was picking up on the really crappy camera that I was using, so sorry. But if you really are curious about it, I have all the information from my experience in that video. But I do plan on getting my tongue split, as I said, which is considered a heavier body modification. I've thought about the ear elfing, but I don't show my ears enough to do it, so. Ooh, another question from Shy. Hey girl, hey. She asks, also, what helps you decide on a tattoo artist? And have you ever gotten a tattoo where they just didn't do a very good job. How did you deal with it? What helps you decide on a tattoo artist? We'll start there. So I find every tattoo artist has a different style. So I used to think that you would pick one tattoo artist and that was the person that has to do your entire body for life with tattoos. Some people do that and some people have their person and that's it, which is cool. But I've come to realize that every artist has a different style and different fortes, and it's kind of like you wouldn't go to Dali to get a Van Gogh style painting. You know what I mean? I feel like if they're doing a style that they love and that they feel comfortable doing, it usually ends up better. So I like to go through as many portfolios as I can, and really, like, you'll notice that there is a style that really stands out about their work. Most tattoo artists can do every style, but I find there's only one or two styles that they do that really just, like, they hit it out of the park. And so I look for that, and then I go from there. So if I'm like looking to get a realism tattoo, then I'll go through everyone's portfolio until I find someone that does a lot of realism and that clearly enjoys doing it, and do that. Because you don't want to give them a job that they have to do for hours that they hate either, or that they maybe are not comfortable doing. So yeah, I recently got the LG-G6 and I feel like everyone, and I feel like everyone's grandma, like, when they get a phone for the first time and they're like, oh no, I hit this, go back, hello? Like, that's me with this phone right now, like, I'm so sorry. How did you deal with a tattoo that they didn't do a very good job? Like I say, I've been really lucky, and I've never had a tattoo where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awful. But if I had to give you some advice with how I would handle a situation like that, I would probably contact the artist and just sort of politely explain that you'd like it adjusted a little bit, and explain what you'd like done differently, and add to it. I think that it's all about how you say it. Like, you don't want to go in and be like, this is shit, like, because then they're unhappy and you're unhappy, and then it's weird, and then they're tattooing you and it's weird and no one's happy. So I really feel like the way that you deliver information, and even just like the tone of your voice and things like that, the words that you choose, these are all things that will alter the situation to be more enjoyable for all parties. Christina asks, what's the best advice to get rid of a piercing slash cartilage bump? And I believe it's called a keloid. I'm sorry that you guys are asking me questions that I don't really know the answers to, because it's not my job, it's not my career, I'm not a professional. I can only tell you from my experience what I've been doing, but I would just say the best advice that I could give you if you have a keloid is to go to the piercer that pierced you and show them and follow every bit of advice, every bit of instructions that they give you. If that means soaking it in, you know, saline for like 4 to 5 times a day, you should totally do that. Make the time, do it right, follow exactly what they say. I'm pretty sure there are many different ways that you can get rid of it, but I would definitely go to a piercer before anybody else, because they deal with this on a regular basis and they know exactly how to handle it. Cody asks, what is your opinion on flash tattoos? I love the idea of flash tattoos, but I am also one of those individuals that doesn't need my tattoos to mean anything to me. To me, it is art, it is decoration, it is expression. Some of my tattoos mean things to me, but most of them don't. So to walk into a tattoo shop and pick something off the wall, I think it's exciting, I think it's fun. If it's something that you like and something that you're gonna find awesome or beautiful, then absolutely do it. And typically artists will have a book of like want to do tattoos where they've come up with designs that they're just kind of waiting for people to pick up, that they're really excited to put on someone. Or flash can be that way as well. Maybe they just came up with a few small designs that they're putting up on the wall, they're really proud of their work, they want to put them on you. So I absolutely think that you should do that and rock it. It also takes a lot of the pressure off you and a lot of the stress off you to decide what you want and to come up with a design. Like if you're the type of person that's just looking for coverage and you don't really care what it is to a degree, then Flash is also really good for that. And last but not least, Elvira asks, I'd like to see the different procedures for ear pointing / elfing. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this is the worst. I really appreciate all the questions, you guys, but unfortunately if they're not about like me personally, I can't answer them very well. But I know that there's lots of information online about this. There's probably lots of videos on YouTube about this, people explaining their personal experiences, so I would definitely seek those out. But I mean, I would assume that they would just sort of cut it and sew it that way, but I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing because misinformation is bad, knowledge is power, and you should probably just do your research because I don't know. Well, that concludes our Q&A for today. If you guys like that I did a Q&A, this is actually my first ever Q&A since 2011 when I started making videos, so like, what? But if you guys liked this, please comment down below and I will do more of them, and maybe I will put them in a place where you guys can see them and like know that I'm doing this so that I can get more questions. That'd be awesome. Please like this video if you found that it was helpful, if you found that it was interesting, and if you like pie, because pie's good, right? And you know what's coming. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and for more videos that are not like this, but that are still cool. I love you so much, you guys. Have a super awesome week, and I will see you next week. Bye! How about English? I'm gonna go and oh my gosh, I can't speak English. Which one is that? But anyways, or mélodie. There's an accent aigu on the E, so that's me. Any real bottomication? Do you have any heavy bottom? How did you deal?